Good afternoon. Today is July 12th, 2020. My name is Monique, and I'm interviewing Anythony Fuentes. How old are you, Anthony?
I'm 45 years old.
And where were you born?
I was born in the city of Far in the state of Texas.
Okay. And what was your childhood like?
My childhood, there's a lot of great memories in my childhood. Not like now. And then it was kind of rough also at the same time, but I always made the best out of it. You know, the fact that I was the oldest of seven, poor family, we did what we had to do. At some point in my life, I ran away from home, being the oldest, because I feared that I was taking the plate from my siblings. So I said I could do it on my own, and I jumped around back and forth to my friend's house because I knew a lot of people at the time. That was later on when I got older, because when I was a youngster, everything like didn't matter. There was no worries, just about they would never talk back to your parents. They all respected your elders. Always played outside till the light came on, and mom yelling for you to come in dinner, and started across the street from the park, and everybody hung out, played football, basketball, or kickball, whatever. Those younger days were fun. You know, I wish it was like that today with these kids, which is totally different generation, as you can see. But the hard parts of me growing up was really hard at times. I was always kind of depressed because we didn't have enough, or I didn't have what we wanted. Well, of course we had what we needed, but to me it was so different. Being the oldest, had to step up at a young age, and I ended up running away from home so they could have my stuff, so they could be happy growing up. So I ended up leaving home for a few years, and then make some bad decisions in my life. Got into drugs, ended up going to jail, hanging out with the wrong crowds. You know, that's after school was over, because during school, that's the only time I used to even probably eat, when I used to go to school. Like I never missed days of school. I always went to school, because I'll eat breakfast and then I'll have lunch, and I'll be like pretty much sometime in the time we even ate. So my record in school was like pretty much perfect attendance because of that situation, and it's crazy, but that's what it is. But I liked being at school, but then again, I wanted to also be something for myself, and the only time I had time for myself, because my home was totally different growing up. I remember a lot of things when I was a youngster, and it was kind of hard. I kind of held a lot of stuff inside, and I actually was points I was bullied because I was always kept to myself, and I always wanted to do my work, concentrate. I want to do something with myself, and I would do my work. I had like graduated with 3.6 honor roll average because I focused on doing my work, and so school was different for me than the way I am now. I just never, because I was never like that. Not that I didn't want to fight. It was just the fact that I was to school to learn something, because I know how hard life was when I was at home. So school kind of helped me out a lot, because it just, like I said, stuck to myself. I was focused on my work, and I always wanted to do extra activities that were available for me, so I could keep myself busy. That's when I started going into like choir, and like playing instruments at school. Like, you know, the drums was great, drum line, and going to like performances and stuff like that for the school, like in the auditorium, and everybody would be like, oh, and everybody would be like, I was trying to do the best at everything I did, because I was trying to show an example or whatever. But and then I got into playing the saxophone when I was in high school, and I was really like mentally like there with the music of the saxophone, and I wish I could, like, maybe one day just try to get a saxophone and try to go back to that, because that was really amazing. But I tried to do a lot of things in my life when I was in school. After, when I wasn't, Of course, like I mentioned before, it was really bad. I went on the wrong track, got in trouble. I was never at home. I ended up having kids really young. Not with the moms, but stuff like that, being on drugs or whatever. And then
Now, what's one thing you've accomplished in your life?
I've accomplished having myself when I found the job that I'm at now 25 years ago. That's kind of what's kept me in the right path, because all I worry now is what I meant to say is I don't worry about the stuff I did before. I just learn from it and know that my job is going to keep me afloat, regardless, because I have the income coming in, and I'm not the kind of person that I jump around jobs. My job is like my other family. We get along very well. They take care of me there. So I'm kind of glad that this job's been there for me the whole time.
Okay. Now, tell me what your biggest failure is.
I think the biggest failure in my life was with one of my exes, or being on drugs with one of my exes. She was like really, I don't want to just blame her, but I'm just using her as an example, that she would like overdo it with the drugs. She would make it so, I don't know, noticeable, you could say. Well, I can't find the other word for it. She always had to have the spotlight, and she made it too obvious that she was on drugs. So it kind of led to a lot of attention, and I got my kids taken away, and that was really devastating. They felt really bad. Nothing hurt so bad like that did. And knowing that I wasn't there at the moment when that happened, because I was at work, and I came back from work, and that happened, and I never forgave her for that. And then she was trying to blame me, but I was like, okay, well, I'm not gonna blame you, because we were together at the time. But that was kind of something that was hard for me to swallow, because it had to do with my kids, and they're like so innocent, and that just happened because the parents weren't being the parents how they were supposed to be.
Did you get your kids back?
Yeah, I left the relationship. I would go see my kids where they were at. I think they were at like a woman's home, and I was going to visit my kids. She did get them back, and I visited my kids after that. And I still talk to my kids now, of course, and they're already older. My daughter's about to be 24 years old, end of this month, and so she grew up really, really, really young, beautiful woman. And that was like when she was like, I think 3 or 4 years old. It was a long time ago, but I remember like it was yesterday, because it like hurt so bad,
Yeah. And who is someone who has made a big impact on your life?
My mother.
Why?
Because my mother would always be the person I would go to for no matter what. Because my mom just spoke Spanish, and growing up, she was like the best. I mean, of course, not her being my mother, but the connection that me and her had, even when I was going through something, and I would come visit when I ran away. I'll come visit her, and even after that, I don't always have somewhere to be or somewhere to go when times were bad or whatever. But I always chose not to go home, And then my mom was always guiding me and telling me, always. I guess her yelling at me growing up. Now I know why she would do the things she did, and why she told me all the things she did to help me out. And then now that my mom is not where I live at, she's somewhere else, another country, across the border. It's hard for me to see her now, but when I do see her, it feels really good, and she's so happy and excited to see me. So without that lady in my life, it probably would have been different for me. She was always there for me growing up. We're not 45 years old.
And what are your best and worst memories?
My best memories that have always been were as my childhood. When I was little, I used to live across the street from the park. All my memories were at the park. And walking down the streets to my friend's house all together, and just walk in and call their mom's mom, and they called my mom, and those were really good moments growing up. The worst things, what was the question?
What were your best and worst memories?
My worst memories was my kids getting taken away, and I think that was kind of like me. My worst memory was me being shot in the back of the head or in the shoulder being somewhere where it's supposed to be. I remember that like it's yesterday too. Sometimes I have flashbacks to my back of my mind, and sometimes I'm like really fidgety and like I hear something like loud and I like react because I think because of that. I think that's got me like that for the rest of my life, but I'm living through it.
And what are your dreams for your kids?
I just want all the kids to be successful and first of all focus on their education first and get a good job and good career going for themselves. Don't have the steps that their father did. And I want them because I mean obviously you learn from your mistakes, but I know you're gonna fall a couple of times. But I just want them to just stay focused and know that there's a lot of opportunities out there for them. Just focus on their education first, and then get in a good paying job, and and like don't have kids to. I mean, I'm saying it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. If kids are gonna have kids, but if you have a husband that supports you when you're young and you have a kid, and great, but I just want them to be not to be like their father, being like paycheck to paycheck kind of thing, paying a lot of child support, and not that I regret any of that, but it's just like I said, the steps I took in my life. But I want them to avoid all that and just take the straight road up there and be successful for themselves. That way they can be happy. They can have the cash flow they need, have their own home, have their own car, don't have to worry about anybody else to help them out, and they can feel good about themselves because they're doing it themselves. That's great. That would be great just to see. 'Cause I wasn't able to do that.
And are you proud of your kids so far now?
Yes, I am.
Why?
To the fact that I think if I would have played a bigger role in their lives. It would have been a probably a different life for them. But they did it without their father by their side because their mom raised them. They're doing very well, actually. I can't say I don't say they were gonna be worse. I'm saying then maybe they would have been different if I would have been in their lives the whole time. But I wasn't, so maybe that was God had a plan for it to happen the way it happened or the way it is. But I just write it that way. That's the way I just see things. I don't want to say I could change it for them, but.
And what are some life lessons you've learned?
There's many lessons that I've learned from. All I know is to be humble to everyone, love everyone, respect everybody. Don't judge nobody by what they look like or what they have, or look at people unless unfortunate differently. Because I've been in the same path and I'm not better than anybody else. I just treat people the way that you want them to treat you. It's just humble is a big thing, and respect, and just love everybody the same. Because we're all here together, and yeah, maybe back in a few times you growing up, you say, hey, F this, F that, and that don't matter. But in reality, around in this whole world or whatever, everybody's equal, and we need to just love each other no matter what. Like help each other out the best way we can, because it's hard out there for the people that don't have.
And if you could do anything in your life differently, what exactly would you change?
What would I change? I guess I would have seen life differently as a youngster, knowing how it could affect me now. I would have took different paths towards education, like towards college classes, and a great paying job career. Because the job I have now, I just ended up there, looking around, applying, and I ended up there. And the first day that I got hired, and I showed what I got, they're like, "Okay, you're hired," and I felt really great. But I think I think I had another plan for me. It was just the path that I chose, and if I would have went towards with all my education like I did after high school, towards college and towards certain degrees, I would have had probably my own company, my own vehicle, and stuff like that would have been great. So that's what I was kind of hoping it ended up.
And what's from stopping you from trying that now?
Well, actually, nothing's stopping me. I think I'm right now in a broken record going over and over, same routine to me. Maybe I just gotta do it myself, just step it up and do it. I think I still can do it, but pretty much choose not to because I'm gonna go to my job, my regular job, and come home and be with my wife and the kids, and that's what I just do. But I mean, I don't think nothing's stopping me. I just don't take that step forward because I can do whatever I want, and I'm strong minded to do all those things. Because I think because once I do it, I ain't gonna stop, and then it's gonna be different, and maybe that's a chance that I need to take, and I think I might have to because the way it's going, I don't expect you to pay the thing doesn't cut it, and I want my wife to make her happy, to make sure she has enough what she needs, and don't worry about money, and don't worry about not paying this, not paying that. It's not that I want her to have, so I think I'm gonna look into making something like that happen to see what the outcome would be. I think it would be great. Even with my job here now, maybe even a second job at nighttime. I know it's going to be a little wore out, whatever, but keep my mind focused. I think it'll be all right. I can do it.
Now, do you have any regrets in your life?
Did a lot of bad things. Knowing, of course, when you're young, you don't think, you don't care. I've had kids at a young age. I don't never regret my kids. Just my choices that I made would have probably been different. If I didn't have any kids, I would have probably had also a different life. But, excuse me. I just believe, like I said, God probably has a plan for me to live like that, for me to struggle, for me to stay strong, to be that way. I kind of just regret going in the wrong paths as a young guy, not caring about anything but himself. Like whatever happened. I just went out there and just did whatever I wanted, not worried about anything. Whatever outcome comes, that's the outcome is gonna be. That's how mindset was back then, like being young. So I regret just that I chose the wrong path and ended up in jail, being a drug addict, and all that led to other mistakes in my life. But if I would have changed that, I would have just kept my head straight. It would have been probably very successful.
Now tell me a story that says something about why you think you're important. Or that says something important about who you are.
Well, whether you're important or not, doesn't matter what people say or think, but I know I'm important. We all are. But I know I met a lot of people growing up in my life. Some of them were just acquaintances that I met through other people. Some of them were friends that are still my friends to today. And those are the Marios that kept me. They're just respecting everybody, like I talked about before. Like treating everybody equally with respect and love and help each other out, in time of need or always just being there for the person when they needed somebody. That's just I don't know, that shows a lot about somebody, a lot of people. That's the why I have the friends I have now that I grew up with. Not all of them, but most of them were the most important ones in my life, even the ones that were at my wedding and the ones that have been there for me. I'm so important. In my eyes, I think we're all important. It's just how people see you, and to me, it really doesn't matter what people say or think. They don't really know you personally, but I think we're all important in our own way.
Okay, and if someone could tell your story for you, how would you like to be remembered?
As a fighter, as someone that never gave up, someone that I don't know, just never give up. Like an example, if you see me laying in the hospital bed, just know I'm coming out of it. You can't go out like that. It's just the mindset for me is just keep on moving on. Don't give up. Keep pushing. It's been like that my whole life. That's why I was always the best at everything I did, because even now I'm at work, people just say, "What are you doing?" Like little things. Dude, what are you doing? You're missing out the pallet's not even straight. Really, just a pallet. I was like, yeah, but it's gotta be. I mean, I guess in my own unique way, it's different because I don't know if they say OCD or whatever it is, but I just know that I like to do things right the first time and be. I don't know. They could just tell the story however they know they think they know me, but I don't know. Just respect, love everybody, and just hardworking and loving and just respect. I don't know, just I think I'm a great person. I've been allowed through a lot of shit in my life that made me who I am today, and I wouldn't want everybody to go through all that, but I know everybody have their own routes, but I'm happy now with my wife and the kids and my job, and that's
What do you like best about yourself?
hardworking, bottoms down. My work is very important to me. Be at work, be at my best, to people see and acknowledge the shit that I do at work, and that makes me feel some type of way. So I walk into work whistling, and they're looking at me like, "Well, you're so happy to be here because I have a job to go to, and I have my job, and I've been there for so long that it's like me greeting you with arms open to my family out of my family here at home." So it's really great. My job, yes.
And what are your goals now in life?
My goals, we probably talked about this earlier, to be able to do something else to extend some other kind of education to another type of trade, to make more money, or get myself a family new vehicle and house for the family instead of apartment living stuff situation. I know it is what it is, but that's the plan and the goals is to make that happen. And with my wife, who's really strong-minded as well, that keeps me strong, we're gonna make it happen in a matter of time. God willing, our sides will make it happen. So I'm hoping a new family vehicle and a house.
How has your life been different from what you have imagined?
The most amazing thing is just marrying my beautiful wife now. She's amazing, and she's a very strong woman, which keeps me going strong, mentally, physically. Yeah, ups and downs, whatever. But she's a very strong person in us. Like I was saying, that when I married my wife, it became one, and it was for all the stuff that I've been through before with her, and it's like we can do this together, and it's gonna be great. I can see it happening.
Did you not see yourself being happy before?
No, because I was just living life as it was coming, like you mentioned before. I just took it as it came. I didn't care about anything. I didn't worry about anything, anybody, just myself. That what led me to bad decisions in my life, because I didn't see the consequences after the situation, which I learned the hard way. We all do. And the fact that we've all been through some stuff in our lives, we all learn from our mistakes, obviously, but we just gotta take them and run with them and learn from them.
And what's the hardest thing you've ever had to do?
The hardest thing for me to do was run away from home. Being the oldest, because I felt like I was taking food away from my siblings, and I think I'll be all right by myself. Like I said, kept strong and not worry about. I'll be all right. Let them handle it. More on the plate for them, and I guess getting my kids taken away was the second hardest thing in my life. But running away from home was really hard, because something that I had a kind of choice, because it was being poor and not having anything, and me being the oldest, I had to try to step up and try to survive on my own out there on the street. And I knew a lot of people, so that kind of had my way of getting away from that, and having people there to how do you call it, not take care of me like that, but to have my back, to like I would jump around to here, jump around to there, jump around to there, and do what I had to do or whatever. But that was kind of hard. I know I'm not the only person in the world that's done it, but that was like a hard moment because I had such a great childhood growing up. So happy, no worries, and then it was just like now, like me being the oldest, and I see my sisters and all that, and now once in a while I just text them and say, hey, I just want to say I love you, thank you for everything you've done my whole life until now. And they're like, wow, well, are you okay? I was like, yeah, I'm just really thank you guys for everything you guys done my whole life because you guys have always been for me too. So, running away from home really took an effect in my life. It made me choose the wrong path, make wrong decisions, but made me strong, I guess I could say, but I'm good. That was kind of really, really hard for me.
Now tell me about a place that is really important to you and paint me the picture.
The place, very important to me as my childhood was my happiness was the park right across the street from my house because that's where I spent all my time growing up. And a lot of great memories and laughs, and I had a lot of good friends and people with like a lot of love and fun and just living right across the street from the park. Like, what more can I could ask for, Right across the street. Hey, let's go. Hey, tomorrow same time right here. So everybody rolled up in their bags with their footballs and now it's like the park is all so upgraded, like so awesome. Like, hey, we should have been like that back then, but it wasn't just the benches, the wheels, and that's it, And that was a fun moment of my life growing up. It was 50 and the Oro, the park right across the street. My house was right across the street. And it was amazing. It was so much fun there. It was just people that I played in the park there with when we were young are still my friends now to this day, and that's what makes them more special because they were the love was there, the respect, and they're like families now. They're like I go to their house whenever, and they'd be like, hey, what's up, bro? It's coming, or it's just the way the feeling. It's awesome. You can't describe it. It's just it's being there. It was such amazing memories in my life growing up as a kid. It was so awesome.
Are you satisfied with the way your life's turned out so far?
Yes. I am glad the way it is so far. It could be better, like not relationship wise, but I'm saying like goal wise. I'm gonna probably make a change. Like maybe schooling or some kind of other education. Don't get me wrong, I'm happy with the life. My kids, my stepkids, my wife, the whole family. It's great, but I think that there could be more. And I think I'm gonna look into that because I think it could be something great.
And if there's any advice you can give to your younger self or someone following you in your path, what would it be?
Advice I would give to myself would be don't grow up too fast. Enjoy your childhood. Fear of everything. Because once you grow up, it all changes. It's not about you anymore. So, take your time being a kid and just be a kid. Don't try to grow up so fast and try to be big and grown. Because responsibilities come later on in life when you're not a kid anymore. And it bites you in the ass, and then you're like, "Whoa, I wish I would have been a young kid again." And that's myself. My situation was all my mistakes I did when I was a youngster, trying to grow up so fast, like I'm talking about. Like not a care in the world, but just be like do whatever I wanted and never thought about no consequences. But it's just never try to be out there too fast. Like try to grow up, just be there and enjoy your life as a childhood. Because I had an awesome childhood, being playing with rocks and a stick. Had fun and drinking water from the water hose and bring my mouth at the same time. Hot summer day and riding my bikes outside and jumping, throwing skateboards around and playing with marbles and jacks and all that. It Well, that was fun. You know, whatever, pushing the ice cream man truck down. Hey, paletero, and it was fun. So I just think you guys being just stay young and have fun being a child and a kid and enjoy your childhood, because growing up is a lot different, and there's a lot of responsibilities being a parent and growing up and other responsibilities and stuff like that. So I would enjoy myself being young when I have nothing to worry about, nothing, just be at home and go to school, you know, be somebody, you know, get a good, great education first of all, and then you think about what career you want to be, and you can be whatever you want in life. Just fight for it, and that's it.